guys, I'm going to show you a quick tutorial about how to take your measurements. In my bathroom, I'm going to take my measurements so I can show you how to do it. This is the appropriate wear to take your measurements in. You want something that is form-fitting and as little clothes as possible while still being covered. Go with this same rule of thumb for your progress pictures. You want something like shorts and a tank top or a sports bra or no shirt if you're a male. So we're gonna start from top to bottom, starting with the neck, going down to the arms, the chest, the waist, hips, thighs, legs, etc. You're gonna take your measuring tape, put it around your neck, find where the outermost part of your throat lies. Bring the measuring tape to that point. And if you don't have a mirror or you can't see the measurement, just try to put your finger where the measurement was, remove it, and take a look. Make sure you write down your measurements. Okay, the next item we'll get is the chest. So bring it around your back, bring it over your chest. Try to line up the measuring tape with your nipple line. Take a breath. Exhale, relax, and bring it to that natural spot. I'm going to take two measurements with my waist. This may or may not apply to you, but for some people, or for some women in particularly, we have two waists that we like to call our waist. First we have the belly button, which is the true waist line, and then we have our thinnest part of our waist, which is what we like to refer to our waistline, because that's where we feel our most flirty. So I'm going to take both of those measurements. The secondary waist, it's just a little higher than my belly button, more where my rib cage ends. And then my belly button, which is a little lower. Okay, so we don't want to forget about those arms. So what we'll do is we'll start at the very top of your arm, right where the humerus meets the clavicle. You're going to measure that point between that and your elbow. This is where it helps to have some sort of mirror. So I can tell that the halfway point between my shoulder and my elbow joint is this number here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to maneuver the tape measure so that I can keep it in that area. Not always the most accurate here. This is probably the harder one. Trying to keep that consistent. I can't even see it. But now I got it. All right, so we'll record that. And now we're moving on to the legs. So you also have an option to get your forearm. The forearm is similar to the arm, in which you will measure the point between your forearm and your end of your forearm or your wrist, which is around there. A 5 comes right into the middle, or about the thickest point of it, and 9.5. Remember that your measurements, especially when you first, not so important to be a certain number. The only person that is putting this standard is on yourself. So especially when you first take your numbers, try to remain neutral and remember that these are just data points. Let's move on to the thighs and the hips. So for the hips, we want to place the tape measure around the outermost portion of the glutes. So we'll take our tape, go around that outer portion, and again, really great to have a mirror here so you can see where exactly that is, because it won't always be around the hip bones. Your glutes practically end at that point. So we're going to go around the outermost hip and do a 360 view. Make sure everything's lined up, and you don't want to squeeze your measuring tape. You want to keep it very loose but tight to the body. Very loose but tight. Loose but tight. All right, we got a measurement. Amazing. We're almost there. Now we're going to go to the thigh. This one is where it gets hard, but remember, you can't just pick a point on your thigh and keep it consistent. It doesn't have to be so specific. But if you want to do it right, here's how to do it. So you're going to take the very top of your hip bone, you're going to point around and feel for it. Very top of the hip bone, and that's where you're going to start your measuring tape. So I'll put my measuring tape there, and then I'm going to let it drop, and I'm going to take a rough estimate around where my patella is, which is 20. So we can see 20. Now, when you bend over, it lengthens more. So I'm going to say 20 and then keep it at 10, which is right around here. And then I'm going to bring it over my leg, around. Now I'm going to use the feel it out method, because I don't want to lose it. I want to keep it as accurate as possible. Good work. Another way to do that, if you have some sort of immobility issue where you can't reach down and get a really good view of your thigh, maybe put your leg up so that you can measure around it like that. Okay? All right, and last but not least, we're going to the calves. Now, if you're not skipping leg day, you may see some growth in this area, so don't skip it. What we're gonna do for our calves is we're gonna come down and make sure we bend at the hips and not at the waist. And we're gonna take a measurement right in the middle, right where that big meaty part begins to end, so bring it right into the middle. Bring it around, and I got it. Okay, and there you have it. That's how you take your own measurements in the privacy and comfort of your bathroom with just a measuring tape. I'm going to show you in my next video how to upload these to my app that I am doing fitness programming on. So if you're a client, you'll need to know that so that I can check on your progress. So there you have it, guys. That's how you take your own measurements and do them so that you can do them consistently. It's so important to track your composition and your measurements, especially if you're not looking at the scale. This is the data point that you're going to see change over time, and it's going to keep you motivated to know that the activities and tasks that you set out for yourself in a session that lead you to exercise and treating yourself well is going to help you with your fitness and weight loss goals. If you want to change your body composition in any way, whether that's gaining more muscle, losing fat, or just getting toned up, well, you're going to need to track it in some way, and I really suggest measurements as being the best way to track your fitness.